Alright, welcome back to Atalanta and Hippomenes, Pars Prima, first part. I'm going to go through it in English now with you. So, forsitan, that's like fortasse, perhaps. You have heard about the maiden who overcame or surpassed men, the direct object, in a contest of running. That story is not a rumor, for Atalanta used to win, used to surpass. Men used to say that this woman, hanc is feminine, that this woman to be as famous with regards to her beauty as with regards to her feet. Now remember, ubi can mean where, but it can also mean when. And I think it makes more sense now, since we're telling a story, that it probably means when. When this maiden desired or wanted to know about a husband, the oracle responded, "Flee, a husband, Atalanta." Okay, fuge, this is a command. Remember, if you just crop off the re, you have a singular imperative. That's a command. It's a really simple form of the verb. Fuge, flee, a husband, Atalanta. Non debes, you ought not to have a spouse. How did I know it was you? There's no word for you in this sentence. It's from the ending, s. It's wrapped in there. So you ought not, and debeo likes to have an infinitive. It's called a complementary infinitive. So that's what this is. You ought not to have a husband. He will be the death to you. The frightened maiden, the terita virgo is third declension, so you can't really tell the gender just from looking at it. You have to memorize it. The frightened maiden in the forest lives unmarried, and she flees the crowd of suitors. Genitive plural. Genitive is possessive, but sometimes it's almost got like a descriptive quality to it. It's telling you what the crowd was made up of. So a crowd of suitors with these harsh words. His verbis duris. No, I will not be. Ero means I will be, not I will. It means I will be not a wife unless first conquered by a race. That means a foot race. With feet, pedibus, race with me. And now we have the plural imperative with the te. So up here, fuge, that's the singular imperative where you just chop off the re, fuge. Now we have a contendo, contendere, but it's in the command form, so contendite. And it's third conjugation, so that e changes to an I before the te. Contende would be yelling at one person to race. Contendite is a crowd or a bunch of people. So race with me with your feet. I will be given as a wife the reward to the victor. This is an indirect object. Remember, we're using a verb of giving, so it's going to want to have a dative. This is from victor, victoris. It's third declension. That's why that I is dative. So I will be given as the wife the reward to the victor. But death will be the reward to the slow ones. I added ones because this is an adjective and it's standing alone. So it's a substantive adjective with a masculine plural ending. You could say to the slow men, but I like to just say ones, to the slow ones. Ea esto. This is a command form of the verb be. You haven't learned that yet? That's cool. So this be the law of the contest. And ea, you could say this, or you could say she. She will be, or she is the law, because lex is feminine. So ea refers to lex. She will be the law of the contest. Tamen, nevertheless, the rash temeraria means like rash. The rash crowd of suitors to the contest came, whom the great power of the beauty and of love into boldness had led. Also, Hippomenes had sat a spectator of the race. This is that fourth declension genitive, long US. Damnavarat, that's pluperfect. He had damned the suitors, or he had condemned the suitors. A wife, and this makes it a question, is a wife sought, passive voice, is a wife sought through such great dangers? Tanta means such great. And pericula is neuter, so use the rule, neuter rule, per plus accusative, neuter, tanta pericula, through such great dangers? Said ubi vidit, but when he saw the form and the body, corpus is neuter, so in its third declension, that's why this US is actually accusative, because of the neuter rule, corpus corporis. So when he saw the shape, or the beauty and the body of the girl, he said, that's a perfect, dico dicere dixi dictum dixit, he said, forgive me, ignoscite mihi. This is a command. It means like forgive or ignore. It takes a dative, ignore to me. That's just how you say excuse me in Latin. Ignoscite mihi, mihi ignoscite. Forgive me, those whom, quos, I have blamed. The rewards nondiam, not yet, nondum, sorry, the rewards not yet I was knowing. So I wasn't not yet like understanding or knowing the rewards, meaning her haughty body and her etc. prettiness. Ea est vere pulchra. She, that's from is ea e nominative. She is really pretty. Ego quoque, I also am taken. And the reason they use actually this pronoun is it's for emphasis, because he's saying like, yeah, forgive me, I realize you guys are all taken with her beauty. And then he goes, ego, I also am taken, passive voice, by the shape or by the beauty of an Atalanta, genitive. And this is ablative, by or with. Dum lauda, while he praised, meaning he praised her beauty. The ignes crescunt, the fires grow. And in what kind of fires? The fires of love. Amores is genitive singular, third declension, amor amores. The fires of love grow. And the verb is third person plural because the subject of the verb is ignes in its plural. Nominative. So the fires of love grow. Optat victoriam virgini. Alright, optat, that's like choose, or I would rather, I choose victory for the maiden. I wish, or he would, I'm sorry, not I, it's he wishes a victory for the maiden. Okay, so he's watching a race. The fires of love grow. Why does he wish for a victory for the maiden? Remember, virgo weirdness. This is dative. Well, because if she wins the race, that means the people who are currently racing her will all die and he gets a chance to race her. So that's what this line means. Optat. He wishes for a victory for the maiden. Cur fortuna huius certaminis ame nontem tatur. Why is the fortune of this race by me not tried? So why not try? Why is the fortune of this race not tried by me? Amen. Deus, God, will help a lover. Deus juvabit, future, to help a lover. Direct object, third declension. Dum spectat, while he watches, the virgo, pede alite volat. The maiden, subject, verb, flies. And then this is an ablative of means or description, how she flies. She flies with a swift foot. She flies by means of a swift foot. This is a third declension adjective. We haven't touched on it yet, so don't worry about it. Pespetis is a third declension noun, and that's why this E is ablative. Just describing in what way she flew. Quamquam, although it seemed to go, or I'm sorry, she seemed to go, and videator in the passive voice often translates not as is seen, but as seems, because seems actually does mean is seen. If something is seen to be good, then it seems good, or whatever. So, although she seems to go, the infinitive of eo ire, to go not slower than a Scythian arrow, nevertheless, Hippomenes Mirator, that has passive form but active meaning. It's a special verb called a deponent. He admires the beauty of the maiden more. Just because now she's really super fast. He's like, oh my gosh, it's even better. Okay, Atalanta came or arrived at the end. It is sounded with a horn. That means the end of the race is sounded with a horn. Ablative of means, by means of a horn. Atalanta, the victor, is crowned. Passive voice verb, meaning the crowning is done to her. She's the subject of the passive voice verb. Atalanta is crowned the victor. Oh, but listen now. Dative to the young men conquered. A punishment of death is given. So a verb of giving with a dative to the young men conquered, to the conquered young men. This punishment is given. What kind of punishment? A punishment of death. So really, your best option for translating a genitive noun is usually of whatever, because it's more all-encompassing to. Sometimes, genitive is used descriptively, like what kind of punishment? A punishment of death. This is not to death, this is of death, because mors mortis is third declension. And if you look at the board, that is is the one with the box around it, the short is, and it's translated as of death. So to the conquered young men, the punishment of death is given. All right, what happens next? Hippomenes, nevertheless, not deteritus, not deterred, prepares himself for the contest. He asks Atalanta, she's the direct object. She isn't asking, he asks Atalanta, why do you seek an easy victory? Race with me, if I will be the victor. Not, it will be to you a pudori. It will not be to your shame to be conquered by me. Remember, pudoris means shame, but this is dative, and it means it will not be to your shame to be conquered by me. To me there is a father, the great Megarius, to whom, dative, the grandfather is Neptune, the king of the waters. While he spoke, the daughter of the king saw him and doubted. And then 10, there's a note down here. 10 says she hesitates whether she prefers. She doubts whether she prefers to conquer or be conquered, or to conquer or be overcome. She says these words, neuter, plural, direct object, accusative. She says these words. Who God or what God orders him to seek a wife? I am not worthy of a reward, by my opinion. But he is a boy. Youth does not move me, but age. Oh, Hippomenes, let go of the dangerous places while you can. You ought to be loved by a better girl. But nevertheless, why is to me this concern of yours? Um, the blame is not